Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and I'm your host today and every other day as I bring you news and reviews in the world of horror and now a little bit more true crime. Today I want to talk about The Monster series on Netflix as a whole, not just about the Ed Gein one. But before I do that, make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification bell, because if you like horror movies and you like true crime and you like all the other stuff in between, a good portion of what we post here you're probably going to like. I am a true crime podcaster. I have a true crime podcast with my co-host Heather, and we release monthly episodes where we talk about cases that have happened throughout history, whether it's Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, Ted Bundy. Like, we've covered lots and lots of the big cases, Jack the Ripper, H.H. Holmes. And something that we've always spoken about is a true crime podcast is there for entertainment. It is also there to be educational and informative. And there's got to be a very fine line of how you do that. Because when you're giving facts of things that happened, that affected real life people, that ruined lives and ended lives, and there are surviving family members from the crimes these people committed, there needs to be a certain level of sensitivity and thought put into what you're saying and what you're doing. And you need to make sure that the information you provide is accurate. You can't just make shit up, because someone's going to fact check you and call you out on it. This doesn't apply to Netflix, because Netflix are making a dramatization based on true events or inspired by true events. So they take the characters or they take the real life serial killers and turn them into characters and tell a story that vaguely reflects their life, some more accurately than others, and then they fill in any gaps that are missing. Now, technically there's nothing wrong with this, because they are telling you a fictional story that is inspired by real life events. And there's lots of movies that do this as well, but Netflix seem to be doing it in a way where they are purely trading on the fact that this is a real person, and why they say it's inspired by true events, they very much hammer home this is what happened. And in every single case they have covered, or every single case they have dramatized, what they tell you happened is not what actually happened. And this raises so many problems for true crime podcasters and for people who just want to know what actually happened, because there are so many people who will watch, for example, the Jeffrey Dahmer one, and they'll watch Evan Peters give a wonderful portrayal as Jeffrey Dahmer, and he really does, he nails it perfectly, and they'll take every single thing that happens in that as gospel. They'll see all the times he was sad and down and needed support and he wanted things and he just wanted to be with someone, and they feel empathy for that character. They feel empathy for that portrayal of a real life serial killer who in reality had mental health issues and didn't have remorse for his crimes, didn't have levels of sadness. It was urges to commit these acts because these acts are what made him happy. It was the act of killing people and ending their life that brought him joy. And all of that is lost. And also the empathy and the love for the victims, which is where the empathy and love should be, is also lost, because the way these series are framed is the serial killer is the star. He is the main character. We're going to focus just on him. Everyone else is a side character. And while I get that helps tell the story, it also diminishes the experience that the victims went through. It also diminishes the experience that many of the families are still feeling today. Which brings me on to Ed Gein. Ed Gein is a monster. He genuinely fits the moniker of that title better than probably any serial killer that has ever lived before. The acts that he committed are heinous beyond imagination. He skinned people. He turned them into lampshades. He kept vulvas in boxes. He fed pieces of people to neighbours and friends. He was a truly, truly horrific man. And to make him how they made him and portray him how they portrayed him, I think is incredibly irresponsible. And what they've done is they've created a character that is likable, that is relatable, that you can empathize with this character because of the subplot that they've put in with his mother and with relationships, that a lot of that is unconfirmed. A lot of that is pure speculation. And some of it is just downright fucking made up. And in doing that, they've created a new aura around Ed Gein, the real monster who was a horrific person, so bad he inspired movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs. And they knew that, so they threw that shit in as well. But they've done that just as a way of clout chasing. Oh, it was him who inspired Silence of the Lambs. It was him who inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it was. But they're using this real life killer, these real horrific crimes that affected real people, and they're using it in a way that's nefarious. They're telling lies, they're altering the truth and altering the narrative to make people watch it, to make it exciting, to make it entertaining, to make him super hot so everyone wants to see him. There are people posting online about, oh, Ed Gein, he's really sexy, isn't he? And no, in reality, he fucking wasn't. And like, I don't particularly like dramatisations of true crime. And if you're going to do it, at least stick to the facts. All of these cases that Netflix Monster Series has done are all so horrific in their own right and are such an interesting story. There is no need to elaborate and build on what they've done. And what they've done with this series, especially the Ed Gein one, is they've basically created American Horror Story featuring Ed Gein. It's so inaccurate, it's so poorly handled, and I think it's so irresponsible. And the next one they're doing is The Axe Murderers, Lizzie Borden, the Murder House. And I don't know whether I'm even going to bother, because I think it's going to annoy me just as much, because they're obviously going to give her a backstory and give her a love interest and give her all the shit that didn't exist, and they're not going to portray her as the vicious killer that she actually was. But I'd love to know where you are. Like, am I sat on an island? Did everyone watch this and go, that was great? I know it's all bullshit, but I really liked it. Or did you watch it and go, wow, he had all that going on and he was a killer? Like, let me know. Let me know, like, how much you read into this, how much you knew about the case, and how much you even care. Like, do you care if they take it and flip it on its head and tell a bunch of lies? Because maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments. I'll reply to every single one. I'm really interested on this to see what people's thoughts are. And until next time, have a wonderful week, and I will catch you all really, really soon. Bye, guys.